She had no eyes, but she saw the future. Her name was Baba Vanga, a blind mystic from Bulgaria with no formal education, no scientific background, and yet she predicted some of the most shocking events of the 21st century. She foresaw tragedy, pandemics, and global unrest, often years, even decades, before they happened. At first, people laughed. Then they listened. Now, they're worried. Because one of her most unbelievable prophecies is tied to this very year, 2025. But before we go there, ask yourself this. Would you believe someone who said planes would strike the heart of America? 2 steel birds will fall upon the American brothers. That's what she said. And then, September 11th happened. A wave of disease will engulf the world. Years later, COVID-19. Kursk will sink under the water and the world will mourn. Then, the Russian submarine disaster, 2000. Coincidence? Maybe once, maybe twice, but over and over again? Now, in her final years, she spoke of a new light in the sky, an encounter during a major sporting event that would change what it means to be human. Sound crazy? So did everything else, until it came true. Are we on the edge of something extraordinary, or are we chasing shadows? Let's find out. If someone tells the future once, it's luck. If they do it again and again, maybe it's not. She couldn't see the world, yet she described it with disturbing precision. Baba Vanga, the blind mystic, didn't speak like a scientist or a politician. Her words were often strange, metaphorical, even cryptic. But when the world caught up to her predictions, people stopped laughing. Let's walk through the chilling trail of prophecies that became reality. The fall of the Twin Towers, September 11th. Horror, horror, the American brothers will fall after being attacked by the steel birds. That's what she reportedly said in the late 1980s. On September 11th, 2001, 2 hijacked planes, steel birds, crashed into the Twin Towers in New York City. The towers fell. The world watched in horror. She didn't name the city or the year, but the symbolism, hauntingly accurate. Was it coincidence or something more? The sinking of the Kursk submarine. At the turn of the century, Kursk will be covered with water, and the whole world will weep for it. People thought she meant the city of Kursk in Russia. But in August 2000, the Russian nuclear submarine named Kursk sank during naval exercises in the Barents Sea. All 118 crew members were lost. The tragedy drew international attention, just as she said. A city underwater? But a namesake vessel? And global mourning? Yes. The Indian Ocean. Tsunami. 2004. A great wave will cover the coast and people will disappear beneath it. On December 26, 2004, a 9.1 magnitude earthquake under the sea triggered a monstrous tsunami. Waves as tall as buildings crushed coastal cities across Indonesia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, India, and more. Over 230,000 lives were lost in just hours. The rise of Barack Obama, the 44th President of the United States, will be an African American. When she reportedly made this prediction, no black man had ever held the presidency. But in 2008, Barack Obama became the 44th president, the first African American to do so. She also added something ominous. He will be the last. A cryptic line that still fuels speculation. The global pandemic, COVID-19. A disease will spread from the east and cover the entire world. Decades before the word coronavirus meant anything, she spoke of a global illness that would bring the world to its knees. In 2020, COVID-19 emerged from China, spread across continents, and led to lockdowns, fear, and millions of deaths. Her followers say she saw it coming. The sickness, the panic, the loss. None of these events were vague weather forecasts or horoscope fluff. They were specific, geopolitical, global, sometimes symbolic, yes, but chillingly close to reality. And this brings us to a much bigger question. If so many of her past visions came true, why aren't we paying more attention to what she said about the future? Because her vision of 2025 isn't about natural disasters or politics. It's not about disease or war. It's about something or someone arriving. And it might change what it means to be human. In the sky, there will be a new light, and the world will never be the same. Among Baba Vanga's many prophecies, there is one that stands apart. Not because it's the most dramatic, not because it's the most terrifying, but because it may mark the end of our isolation as a species. According to those who documented her visions, Baba Vanga foresaw that in the year 2025, humanity would witness a mysterious light in the sky, one that appears during a major international sporting event. This light, she said, would not be a meteor, not a comet, not a weapon, but a vessel, an object, a presence, and for the first time in human history, it would not be of this earth. Not fear, but answers. This is not your typical doomsday prophecy. There's no fire, no flood, no judgment. In fact, Baba Vanga insisted that this encounter would not bring fear, but understanding. They will come not to conquer, but to reveal. Revealing what? She never said. But her followers believe it could be knowledge of our origins, truth about the universe, or even the next step in human evolution. This wasn't contact in the shadows, not secretive, not hidden by governments, but witnessed by millions, live around the world. The event, a global stage. She mentioned a great sporting event as the moment it would begin. That leaves only a few possibilities. Wimbledon, July, the World Series, October, Formula One, Grand Prix, December. Or perhaps something unannounced, something larger yet to come. Could it be the perfect stage for a first contact moment? Billions watching, cameras rolling, no cover-up possible. A light that matches our time. What makes this prophecy even more unsettling is that it comes at a time when the world is already buzzing with sightings, disclosures, and unexplained encounters. UFOs recorded by US military pilots moving in ways physics can't explain, non-human remains allegedly found in Peru. A supposed collision between a military jet and a UFO in Arizona in 2023. A recovered object in Colombia with materials unknown to Earth, described as containing no seams or welds. Governments no longer deny the possibility. They call them UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena. And they admit, we don't know what they are. A warning or a window? What did Baba Vanga truly see? Was it a literal spacecraft appearing in the sky? Was it a symbolic awakening, a moment when humanity realizes it's not alone? Or is it possible that we are reading her words through the lens of our own desperation for meaning? Because in an age of war, debt, disease, and division, maybe the one thing we need most is something or someone to remind us we're part of something much bigger. Look to the sky. It will happen when the world is watching, when the crowd cheers. They will arrive. Are we ready for that moment? In the next part, we'll explore what this prophecy could mean for science, religion, and global power. If Baba Vanga was right, the greatest secret in the universe might finally be revealed. Live on television. Impact, reaction, and ramifications. If the sky opens and something steps through, what happens next? We've entertained the prophecy. We've examined the past. We've stared into the possibility of a light in the sky over a global stage. Now it's time to ask the hardest question of all. What if she's right? What if Baba Vanga, blind, untrained, and long gone, truly saw something none of us could? The impact on science. The first to respond will be scientists, astronomers, physicists, biologists, all scrambling to capture, decode, understand. Telescopes trained on the skies, satellites on high-alert military radars overloaded with chatter. Governments will be pressed for transparency. Scientists will rush to confirm whether what we see is a hoax, a drone, a natural phenomenon, or something else entirely. And if it's confirmed, if we are truly not alone, then every field of science, from evolution to astrophysics, will be ripped open and rewritten. The political aftershock. Next comes power. Who controls the narrative? Which government gets the first contact? Will it be peaceful or weaponized? History has shown us that humanity doesn't always handle uncertainty with unity. If contact is made over a Western country, Eastern powers may call it a fabrication. If it happens in a developing nation, the West may try to seize control. Expect global emergency meetings, military mobilization, and information warfare. The world's most powerful leaders will be faced with one chilling truth. You no longer control the highest intelligence in the universe. The spiritual awakening or crisis. Religion will face its own reckoning. If an alien civilization appears, it will challenge centuries of theological belief. Are they part of God's creation? Do they believe in a creator? Did they create us? Some will see it as a sign from heaven. Others will declare it a deception from hell. But one thing is certain: faith will be shaken or transformed. Expect mass gatherings, panic, prayer, and perhaps a new religion born overnight. The psychological collapse and rebirth. Humans are not wired for paradigm shifts. The mere suggestion that we're not alone has already caused panic, hoaxes, and cover-ups. Now imagine millions watching a real-time encounter, broadcast globally. The reactions will range from awe and wonder, existential dread, denial and delusion, suicides and cults, movements calling for contact, worship, or war. But perhaps it could also unite us. A species too divided by flags, race, and religion, suddenly forced to see ourselves from above, not as nations, but as one world, one humanity. The legacy of a blind prophet. And somewhere, deep in the Balkans, the memory of an old woman who couldn't see, but somehow saw everything, will burn brighter than ever. Baba Vanga may have died in 1996, but if 2025 unfolds as she predicted, her story will not end in a tombstone, but in the stars. They will not bring fear, but answers. Maybe she was right all along, and maybe we were just too scared to listen. If this story blew your mind or made you question what's really out there, then don't just watch, be part of the conversation. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think Baba Vanga was right? Are we really close to making contact? And if you want more mysterious prophecies, untold stories, and cosmic questions like this, hit that subscribe button and don't forget to turn on the bell so you never miss what's coming next. The sky is watching us. Are you watching back?